welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kyla, and in this video I'm going to go over my February TBR with you, reading plans, book clubs, vlogs, all of the things. So let's just go ahead and get started. I am trying so hard to keep with my theme of only picking 10 books to read for the month, and if I read more than those, great, but if it's only those 10, I know I'm still on track for my reading goals, but I'm also like not overwhelming myself and like forgetting everything that I'm reading. So I do have a few more than 10 on this list. Look, I tried my hardest, okay? I just absolutely tried my hardest, but I think I'll be able to get to all of them. I didn't go like astronomically over, so at least there's that, so high five here. So let's just go ahead and start with the book club plan. So I participate in the book troop, which is Gabby from Gabby Reid's book club. I try to participate in others, like if I'm already reading the book, then great, or if I already have plans to read the book, then great, but like that's the main one that I participate in. And this month we're going to be reading The Reformatory by Tiana Reeve-Dew. I have never read from her before, at least I don't think so that I can remember, so I'm very excited to dive into her book list, and if I love this book, which I have no doubt in my mind I will, then I will definitely be diving into her backlist. And this one is absolutely perfect because it is Black History Month, which you will notice is like a huge theme in my reading plans for this month. So I'm very excited that this is the pick for February. And I'm just gonna read the first little line from Goodreads here because I just think this encapsulates this book so well and makes me even more excited to dive into it. So it says, a gripping page-turning novel set in Jim Crow, Florida that follows Robert Stevens Jr. as he's sent to his segregated reform school that is a chamber of terrors where he sees the horrors of racism and injustice for the living and the dead. Which, I mean, that just tells me everything that I need to know right there. It tells me that we're gonna have a bit of a haunted school story, which just sounds so fun and cool, and also it's going to touch on these difficult themes, and like especially this month that is so important. So I have no doubt that this is going to be incredible. From the reviews that I've already seen come out, people are absolutely loving this book, and I don't know exactly how far this is going to go in like the paranormal side of things, but regardless, I'm still so excited for it. So that is the first book on my list for the month. Now, sticking along the theme, Jesse from JesseOnYoutube, they are hosting Blackathon this month, and it goes all month long. There are a week of Instagram prompts, which I will link their video below if you haven't seen it and you want to check it out. There is a list of regular readathon prompts to follow, as well as a week-long Instagram prompt to follow, and I look forward to this readathon every year because it's just that extra encouragement to pick up books from authors of color. And like, I try to do that anyways. I'm always trying to make sure I'm picking up books from authors of all different races, genders, identities, etc. So I always try to diversify, but I feel like this month and this readathon is just that extra encouragement that everyone needs. So again, I will link Jesse's video below in the description. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. I'm not going to be following the prompts to a T. I did take some of their recommendations from their video, so I did do that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to hit all of the prompts with the list of books that I have. If I do, great. If I don't, that's okay. This list is filled with authors of color and ones that I am like so beyond excited about. Some I have mentioned in videos very recently, so let's just go ahead and dive into the list. The majority of my reading this month is from this list, so I think I picked like 9 books, including the book troop pick, The Reformatory, that are all from Black authors. And we have a variety of genres going on here as well. So let's just dive into the list. I'm not going to spend like a ton of time explaining each individual one and how they fit into the prompts. We'll get to that because I do plan on doing a reading vlog for Blackathon this year. It's just gonna, I don't know if it'll include all of these books, but it will include a lot of them. So let's dive in. We have Delicious Monsters by Lascelle Samberry. This is a book that I have been seeing going around. I saw this cover and I knew immediately that I needed to read it because it is absolutely stunning. This cover, oh my god, it doesn't not just like pull you in, it pulled me in, and I cannot wait to read this. And you guys know me, like I don't know a ton about books going into them. If they already give me the vibes that I am looking for, like I don't really need to know the whole synopsis. However, the first line of this synopsis on Goodreads, are you kidding me? Need you say anything more than this to like suck me in? No, you don't have to. It says, The Haunting of Hill House meets Sadie, which is a book I read last year and loved. I thought it was so well done. It's mixed media, it's incredible. So The Haunting of Hill House meets Sadie in this evocative and mind-bending psychological thriller following two teen girls navigating the treacherous past of a mysterious mansion 10 years apart. So we're gonna get dual point of views. We're gonna get a haunted mansion, I think, maybe. We are going to get, I'm sure, some deep themes here going on, because if I know anything from these kinds of books, we are going to hit on those conversations, and I love that. I absolutely love it. But oh my god, you mix those two comparisons together, I don't need to know anything else other than this cover is absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to read it. I also know she has a new book coming out this year, and like, if I love this book, bet your bottom dollar I will be picking up that as well. Also, notice that I don't have a lot of these books in hand. They're basically all on hold at my library. I've been waiting, so pray to the library gods that all of these become available, because that would be a tragedy if that was the case, and throw out my entire TBR. No, thank you. This next one I do know is available for me. It's actually waiting at the library for me to go pick it up, and it is the new Kylie Reid, Come and Get It. When I saw that Kylie Reid was coming out with a new book, I knew immediately that I wanted to read it right away. She's the same author as Such a Fun Age, which is like a literary mystery that I really enjoyed. I loved her writing, and I loved how she wove in the deeper topics of race and class and privilege, all of that into that book, and it's just so well done while still being so engaging. Like, that book is such a page turner, so I have no doubt that this is probably going to be the same. And this one takes place at a university, and we have a main character who gets in like a messy situation with a professor and 3 other students. I don't know what that messy situation is. I really haven't read beyond that in the synopsis, and I'm happy to go in blind because I just love her writing so much, and I'm so excited for this book and that we have a new one from her. Also, this cover is just perfection, and I need to know what it means immediately, because you know there's a reason that there is a pig on the cover. I don't know what it is, but I am excited to find out, and I cannot wait to read this. It is definitely going to be one of my first reads this month. Stop it. I can't even tell you how stoked I am. The next one on my list for February is actually a recommendation from my friend Cherie. She read this series, or part of the series, last year, or maybe even the year before. It's been a while, and she was like, you need to read this. I think you're gonna love it. And it's This Poison Heart by Kaylin Barron. I know nothing about this book. I have read from her before. I've read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. It was not my favorite, but I think this airs on more of like the fantasy side of things. The only thing that I really know about it beyond that it is a fantasy, and like, I think we have a main character who is trying to figure out how to use her powers, and she has something to do, her powers have something to do with plants. Like, truly, that's all I know, but I just know that my friend loved it, recommended recommended it to me. It's time I read it, and I'm so excited to include it on this list. And like, if I love it, then I have a new series to start. And like, do I need another series to start? No, I definitely do not. I really need to start doing a series tracker because this is getting out of hand. But like, I'm here for it. You know what? It's fine. Turns out I'm a series gal. I'm just here for it. And then we have a book that has been on my TBR for a long time. I talked about this in a recent video. It is time to finally read it, and that is Amari and the Night Brothers. Oh my god. This has been on my TBR for way too long. This is a middle grade fantasy. And like, this has everything that I think I'm going to love and more. I mentioned this in my 5-star predictions. If this is not 5 stars, I don't know if I know my reading taste. I just truly don't. I have a feeling this is going to be just one of my all-time favorites, and I think maybe that's why I've put it off for so long, but not anymore. We're gonna be reading it this month. This one follows Amari. She has a brother that's missing, and she has never stopped believing that he is out there somewhere, and one day she finds a suitcase or something in his closet, and somehow that leads her to a kind of school, and she has to go and try to compete for her spot in this school and learn how to do magic and all of that. Like, all of the things that I freaking love, right? Like, it's giving Legendborn, it's giving a little bit of like a certain wizarding world, it's giving the competition vibes, which I absolutely love. Oh my god, I'm not going to talk about this anymore because I did go on a rant about it in that video, so I will link it below and above if you haven't seen it. But like, I just can't put this off any longer. The prediction is that this is going to be on my favorites list of the year. I mean, that's a lot of pressure for this book, but it's time. It's time we get to it, and like, I'm so nervous, but I also have like no doubt. So yeah, take that what you will. And the next one is also one that has been on my TBR forever, and that is Ace of Spades. Y'all, I need some dark academia in my life, and I need a good dark academia book. So I said that I was saving this for a specific video and for a specific reason, and the time has come. The time has come. We are finally going to read it. And like, I read so many dark academia at the end of last year that were miserable fails, like absolutely miserable fails. It actually like put me in a little bit of a reading slump, so I need the redemption of this. And I have had this book recommended to me so many times. Everyone has said, you are going to love this book, it is right up your alley, from people that don't even really enjoy YA that much, and like, that's saying something. So I cannot wait to read this. I'm so excited that it's going to be off my TBR because it's literally been on there for so long, and I really hope this brings like all the dark academia redemption. I really hope so. And all I know about this one is we are following 2 students at a private school whose like dark secrets start to come out. Whatever that means, I don't need to know anything else. This is also a 5-star prediction, so we're like really getting to them. Fingers crossed. The next book that I would love to read this month is The Shadow Sister by Lily Mead. This cover blew me away. I immediately was grabbed in. I was like, I need to know what this book is about. I also saw it at Barnes & Noble at the half price sale, and I was like, ooh, do I not? I put it on hold at the library. Am I gonna regret not buying it at half cost? Maybe, but I'm excited to read it. This one is YA, and it follows our main protagonist whose sister has gone missing, and then after a certain amount of time, I think it's like a number of years, or maybe like 6 months or something like that, I'm not really sure, she shows back up and everyone is like over the moon, so excited, but the sister, our main protagonist, is like, something is not right here. And then we're kind of following both their stories, so like the present day of like, now she's back, everyone's so excited, but our main protagonist is like, something's wrong. And then we have kind of the story unfolding of what happened to her and where she's been. I love stories like this. I love a missing person story, and I also know know that this is going to cover a lot of important topics as well, like race and privilege and class, and how people do not give the same attention to missing Black women or missing Black people as they do to white people. I know that conversation is going to come into play, and I just cannot wait. I have a feeling this book is going to be incredible, and you guys know me. I love a YA thriller. Need I say more? I do not think so. And then the next one is The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. Again, we have maybe the start to another series. However, this one is only a duology, so I'm totally okay with that, because like 2 books, you know, we can knock them out. We can knock them out of the park. We can knock them out of the park. This one I've heard is also a little bit sci-fi, and I said in my 5-star prediction video, because I put this on this list as well, we're reading a lot of them this month, that this was a YA, but I actually think it might be adult fantasy, so that gets me even more excited. I definitely need to read more adult fantasy this year. I have been in a YA bubble, which like I'm okay with, all right? I am okay with it. I own it. But I definitely want to explore some more adult fantasy, and I believe this one actually is adult, so that's exciting. This one is following a young Black woman as she has to endure these blood trials. I don't really know what that entails, but I'm stoked to find out, and she has to do so in like a very misogynistic and racist environment. If she survives these trials, she becomes one of the like most elite warriors. Look, I'm sure it is so much more than that, but I just read the first line in the synopsis and that's what I gathered, and I don't really need to know anything more than that. I'm also so excited that this has a little bit of sci-fi to it, because that is a little bit outside my comfort zone. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, so we have an adult fantasy that includes some sci-fi, and like this is also giving me a little bit of Legendborn, and that makes me really excited. So I knew that I just like couldn't wait any longer to read it, so we're gonna read it in February. And then my last one for Blackathon and for Black History Month, at least so far, I mean, like I said, you know, this is subject to change, and like I could add more at any point, but the last one I have to read is When the Reckoning Comes. This is a horror by Latanya McQueen that I have heard such incredible things about. I really don't know a ton about it other than I know it takes place on a plantation, and our main protagonist comes back for a wedding, and she's met with like the horrible history of this plantation. I don't really know where it goes from there. I don't need to know. Everyone that I know that has read this has absolutely loved it and rated it so highly, and I feel like it's the perfect horror to read for this month because, you know, we have that talk of the plantation and the history there, and while it is fiction, I do believe that it's going to bring in the deeper themes and the conversations around what has happened in the South and our history, so I think it's really perfect for that. And like I said, I know so many people who have rated this so highly. It has been on my TBR, and I keep meaning to get around to it, so now is the time. So those are the main books that I plan on reading this month. Normally I don't like divulge my entire TBR to you, but I wanted to give you guys some ideas in case you do want to participate in Blackathon or are just looking for books by authors of color to check out. Those are the ones that I plan on reading this month. Again, I could add more at any point if I get through these ones. However, I do have one more book to read this month that I did not get to in January. That is not by an author of color, but I still want to include it in my TBR so you guys know that I am going to read it. I have just been putting it off because I don't want it to be over, okay? I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And it's Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I haven't read it yet, guys. I bought it the day that it came out, or at least the week it came out. I have been staring at it all month long going, I'm coming for you, but I'm not ready for yet. I am not ready. I'm not sure I'm ready, but I do want to read it as soon as possible. So I think I'm going to start February off with reading this and then get to the rest of the books that I just mentioned. One, because I don't want to be spoiled by anything. So far, I haven't been, and I'm very grateful for that. But the more I'm on social media and BookTube, the more I know I'm gonna get spoiled, and I don't want that to happen. But I also want to know the ending of the story so badly, but I don't at the same time. because I know it's gonna be over. I'm so sad this is just duology. It's like actually a little heartbreaking. So anyways, I do plan on reading it this month. I've been putting it off long enough. A month is long enough. I mean, some books sit on my TBR for years and years. I can't let that happen here. I just can't. So I think this is gonna be the first one I get to. Deep breaths because I'm still not ready for it, but it's gonna happen. And those are all the books I plan on reading in the month of February. Like I said, I do plan on doing a vlog for Blackathon, so if there are books on this list in particular you want to see in that vlog, because I'm not sure they're all gonna be included, please let me know which ones in the comments, as well as let me know if you are planning on participating as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
With you and I, the future